Thanks again to new subscribers. Thanks again to Cameron. I don't know if you guys know on YouTube, I try to check comments and answer questions and interact with people on the chat. And sorry, it's like 400 degrees in my office right now. I'm dying here, but anyway, I try to interact with everybody and answer questions and things like that. And but I go through and I look, and sometimes I miss them, and YouTube only highlights certain comments, so sometimes I miss them. But yeah. Tomas says the Monica Bellucci and Trees loops got me here. Awesome. So speaking of that, I've got enough view time and I've got enough subscribers, and was applying to monetize my videos on YouTube, and I was denied because of repeat content. So I think that I think it was because of those loops. So if people don't know, I was making some ambient loops, like from the DVD menus, like the trees and that ambient like whoosh sounding. And I did one of the Monica Bellucci Dream with that like kind of cranking sound. And I was going to do another one of the electricity, another one of the curtains and stuff like that. But since YouTube won't, at least for now, won't monetize my videos because of repeat content, I've decided to remove those loops and see if that was going to make a difference or not. So in a month, I'm going to apply to monetize my videos again. And if they deny it again for some other reason, then I will put those loops back up and continue doing those loops and try to direct people to the Patreon. Speaking of that, I have a Patreon page. I believe it's patreon.com/takethering or takethering430. Check that out. And I am on Take the Ring 430 on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So at Take the Ring 430 on all three of those platforms if you guys like to do that stuff. And let's see. So channel update here. So the good news, great news, fantastic news is I just got a new job. And so I'm currently work in a production house that makes doing my videos easier than doing them at home. But I'm transferring everything at home. I might be able to eventually use some equipment at my new job, but that's all up in the air. And so the Patreon, I haven't pushed it really at all. I've got a couple patrons. Patreon will be going to maybe getting me a new computer or at least a microphone and some stuff to help me do this stuff at home. That's being said, a lot of you that have followed the channel for a long time, it's been a long time since my last episode, and I appreciate everybody's patience with that. And but it's a big one. It's the longest one that I've done, and there is tons of graphic work and graphics and sound and stuff. So it's written, the voiceover is recorded and edited, the video clips are edited, and so and then my last day is next week. So I'm going to be taking all that stuff home, and I'm going to be trying to finish up the graphics and stuff at home. So episode 4, which I won't tell you what it's about, but episode 4 is 75% done, and everything else is basically graphics and final polishing and stuff. There's tons of information in there, tons of cool stuff, and really appreciate everybody being patient. I get comments a lot like, when's the next episode? So let's see. So yeah, so I guess now's the opportunity to ask me any questions if you've got any questions for me, or the channel or the videos or anything. Let me look at the comments here and see what we got. Strenuous Orb says, what's up? I didn't know you were doing live streams now. I didn't either. I just was like, I'm got this new job. I'm almost done with episode 4. I might have to go dark for a few more weeks to figure out how I'm going to finish that up. But so I figured I'd just do a channel update and let everybody know what's going on. Kiki says, "Yo, Wild, I just found this and subscribed today." Well, welcome. We got tons of subscribers, tons and tons of subscribers. So really excited for that. And let's see. So the video that's the most popular on my channel is the Talk About Judy video. And so that's a season 3 theory video that is based on David Auerbach's unified theory, which is on the waggish.org blog post. And so for people that don't know, that was a submission for Split Screens Film Festival last summer. I had a time constraint. It was only 10 minutes. It was supposed to be 12 minutes or less. And I tried to summarize his theory and work in my theory, like my kind of like ideas and like little side notes and stuff. So I am going to do more Talk About Judy videos with more season 3 perspectives. So again, the comments have been great. People like super positive, you know, but you get the ones that are like, well, I don't believe this. This isn't true. Or I think this, and that's fine. So just, I know it's not really clear in the video, but I am open to all kinds of interpretations. I will be doing more season 3 interpretations. But the feedback's been great. I really like it. Yeah. So Talk About Judy is what it is. I like that theory a lot. There's stuff there's even more stuff that supports that theory that I didn't have time to put in the video. So I might do an extended one of the Auerbach theory. I've got a couple other theories out there. Basically, the plan is the next Talk About Judy video will be covering more of the meta critiques, if you will, the like Lynchian dream-like, you know, the more like kind of what does it all mean, or what is it like if it's the outside looking in, where the Auerbach one is like a unified theory based on the narrative and what we actually see and what we're actually told, what we can reasonably assume is going on. So I'm going to be doing some other videos about, you know, who is the dreamer? Is Cooper a failure? How does this all connect? And then I've got a third one that's being kind of written and planned for a, that'll be kind of like more like my theory. That's kind of like a narrative theory and a meta critique kind of wrapped into one, and how I kind of view the whole thing. So there'll be more Talk About Judy videos. And if you're, I don't want people to watch my channel, watch that video first and think, well, I don't really like that theory or idea, so I'm not going to watch his other videos because he's probably trying to make all of this work into the season 3 theory that he posted. And that's not the case at all. I'm taking each subject on its own, from Fire Walk With Me in the original series, taking all of that on its own. And each episode, The Ring, Philip Jeffries, Laura Palmer, you know, observations, deductions, things I know, things I don't know, questions, everything I can fit into each subject about what we know about those characters or subjects. Okay, back to the chat. So Danielle Coleman's here. Hello. Can't wait for episode 4. Thank you very much. Tomas Batista says, I rewatched the 3rd season with your theory in mind, and it's super solid. I'm catching details I didn't notice before. Yeah. Again, I don't want to start a thing here, but I was kind of on the same page with David Auerbach throughout. And when he was talking, there was things that I didn't know for sure, but yeah, it's solid. So I get that people don't like it, or maybe you're assuming, I am assuming too much that Laura destroys Judy at the end because, you know, obviously we don't see it, right? But every single thing in that theory is backed up by something on screen, and it runs from the beginning of the return all the way to the end. And I get if people don't like that theory, which is fine, because this is David Lynch and Mark Frost, and you can do whatever you want. You can think whatever you want, which is great. But I challenge you all to find another unified theory. If you're trying to deduce what is going on in the narrative, that's the only theory I know that has that much visual evidence and implied evidence and all of that. So I get it if it's like, well, it's all a dream. It's like, okay, that's great. That's not really a unified theory of the narrative, though, if you're trying to dissect what is actually kind of happening or whatever. So yeah, so anyway, I really love that theory. It's great. I'm going to talk more about those meta critiques and the dreamer and all of that stuff as well. Let's see. Strenuous Orb, can you give us a hint as to what the next video will be about? Well, if you go to Obnoxious and Anonymous YouTube channel and search back about a couple of months over Christmas break-ish, I didn't tell him either. Didn't tell him what the topic is, but there's hints in those videos as well. So Cameron and I discussed what is talked about, what is known as wood theory, which is about the woods of Twin Peaks and how the Great Northern Hotel is built with the old growth forest wood of Twin Peaks, and that might have something to do with Josie being trapped in the drawer pull, etc. So I'll be covering that. So there's your hint. We will talk. The video will cover wood theory, but it is super long. I'll tell you, I'm covering a decent amount of characters and stuff from season 1. So Kiki says, so are you holding out hope for another season movie, or are you content with what we have already? I am content with what we have already. I'm not holding out for anything. But again, Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous and other people are very right when they say we will get something someday. Like, it's just inevitable. It's like, you know, Jaws is the greatest movie ever, can't be outdone, can't be outmade, and they made like 4 more Jaws movies, right? So it may be another 20 years, and whoever has the rights to it is gonna, you know, make something. As far as Lynch and Frost, I don't know. I have no idea. It could change tomorrow. I personally believe if it continues, it will be more of a limited type thing, like a super short series. I believe it will be a 2-hour movie about Carrie Page in the style of Fire Walk With Me about Laura Palmer. If I were to guess, if I were to put money on it and they got David Lynch back, I think that and Frost, if they were to do something to continue the story, it would be focused on Carrie Page, and it'll be in a form of a movie or an extremely limited series, certainly not 18 episodes. Yeah, so Tony Barber says there's a Valero gas station in this town that I'm visiting in Colorado. Didn't see those before till recently. Yeah. I'm not sure where the Valero station is in The Return. Can't remember. Calbudo McFarland says we are the dreamer. Yep, this is true. I've only seen one video of you so far. The Judy theory. One thing I see in that final scene I didn't see in your video, and I believe supports further is the sound Cooper appears to hear just before asking what year is this. Sounds to me like the same sound the fireman tells Cooper to the record player scratching noise. I don't know. I don't know if that's in that scene or not. I'll have to listen to it in headphones. I agree. Tony Barber says, how about after that, the last scene, the opening scene takes place after that with the fireman saying, remember Richard and Linda, I see it as a loop. I do too. That's all. Well, so like I said, I got the first talk about Judy, which is the Arbach theory. I got the second one coming, which covers the more meta critiques. And then I've got a third one in the back of my mind that's going to be kind of like more how I view all of this stuff. And seeing the whole story as a loop definitely plays a part in my theory. So, Strenuous Orb says, I think it'll be a movie about something no one expects and everyone will be mad at Lynch again. Yeah, probably. If they do anything, I think it's just going to be like clean slate. They're going to start from Odessa, Texas, or it'll be back in Twin Peaks and things have changed. Maybe not. Maybe Cooper shows up. Maybe not. Maybe Carrie Page shows up coming back to Twin Peaks as Laura. Even if the show continues, I don't think will be explained. I don't think they're going to explain the ending of season 3. I think it's just going to like happen. I don't think they're going to be like, well, so there was this, and then, Judy was destroyed or she wasn't, or if she wasn't, then what happened? Does Laura eventually, I don't know. But like I've said before on other videos, I think, or other channels and interviews and podcasts and stuff, I think that, Lynch and Frost have great careers and, they're in their 70s, they're in the twilight of their years. And I think that they had kind of this one chance to come back together and make this happen. And I would not be surprised if we don't get more Twin Peaks. If it's over, then it's over. And I think they set it up that way. I think they did the books and season 3, or Frost did the books and they both did season 3 as a finale. I'm kind of pissed that they teased that it was going to have some closure. So I had some different expectations, but I think that the ending is what it is and it's going to be how it's going to be. And even if they continue, I think that it'll be a different style, different vein, different whatever, like no idea. But I think, I met Cheryl Lee at a convention recently. I had her sign my Secret History book and we were talking back and forth and there wasn't, I was first person there, first thing on a Sunday morning. So there was like no one else there. So we ended up got to talk for a few minutes. It was really nice. And she's wonderful. And if she's going to be at a convention or a show or a screening or something, you guys definitely got to go. She's great. And, but I made some comment like, man, this is like a miracle that this even happened. Like, regardless of what you think of it or what it is or what it ended up being or whatever, like absolute miracle, came completely out of nowhere for the stars to line up for this to actually happen. And she agreed. She was like, yeah, a total miracle. No one saw it coming. Like the fact that it got greenlit and it actually worked and everything fell into place the way it is. I mean, yeah. So I don't think we were ever going to get season 3. I think it was a miracle that it happened. And I think expecting more is a little bit, maybe a bit too much. But anyway, let's see. Pablo Ferrara says, hey, thanks for the great work. I know that the channel is Twin Peaks themed, but are you planning to cover some other Lynch related work? Maybe. So this is I guess to like give the overview of the channel, I guess. So after season 3, I was, really inspired, and I've been a fan I'm no real kind of expert, but I've been a fan for 20 years. I didn't watch it when it was on, but shortly afterwards I got the videotapes and been a fan since high school. So, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was thinking like, well, maybe my sister and I talked about starting a podcast, and then, but I'm a video professional, and I started coming up with it's like, well, I should just do videos. And then I thought about doing, something maybe a little more fun, like, Red Letter Media, Mr. Plinkett style. Like, so I actually like had a character created and a whole kind of concept with doing a kind of a more like interactive fourth wall thing. But then the Split Screens Festival opportunity came up, and I did the season 3 video, and that was when I just kind of like forced myself to lock in a kind of a style. And I think that works best for Twin Peaks. This is especially with season 3, so convoluted, complicated, so many characters, so many storylines. The original show, the Laura Palmer Diary, the Dale Cooper tapes, the Fire Walk with Me movie, the Mark Frost books, season 3, they're all different. So I just decided to go with it like I'm trying to be as like concise as possible. Everything concise, everything together. If I'm going to cover a character or a topic or something, I'm trying to be pretty thorough. I can't have clips from like every single scene, but I'm trying to have a lot of clips, a lot of visual representation. I'm trying to keep it dry. I think my editing could be a little bit better, like a little slicker, but I don't think it works when I'm trying to explain something complicated. Does that make sense? So like I have like some dialogue and then a clip and then some dialogue with some shots, and it just kind of works that way. And I think it works better that way. Like I said, I wanted to be, originally the idea was to be a little bit more funny, a little bit more in your face, a little bit kind of like, interacting a little bit more with, I guess, the fourth wall or the audience or whatever. But it's basically just like a clear, clean, straightforward documentary series, I guess. And I told Cameron from Obnoxious Anonymous in one of my interviews, or when he was talking to me or interviewing me, that if you guys want to think about it this way, this is great. But I think about it like I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book about what I think about Twin Peaks, and I'm doing it one chapter at a time. And that's what those episodes are. So, The Ring and the Philip Jeffries videos came out like, a month or two apart. And part of that's because they were kind of written in advance, and I kind of was on a roll. But then since Christmas, this has been busy season at work, and I've had absolutely like very, very, very little time to work on it. It's just like 10 minutes here, a half hour here. So I'm I'm doing my best. The goal was to put out, one of these a month or one of these every 2 months. And that's just not happening because I want these to be good, and they need to be perfect in my mind, or as good as they can be, and something that's going to last. So again, I appreciate new subscribers and people that have discovered the channel. And, I would love to put out a new video every 2 weeks or every month, but it's tough because I got everything I say, I want to research and I want to back it up. I'm not going to claim something about a character or something that isn't represented somewhere. So this takes some time. Appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Thorax says, one thing I don't get is why Cooper told Laura not to take the ring at first. Sorry if this is explained elsewhere. Watch my episode 1 about the ring. I talk about this extensively. Basically, Cooper's out of his element and doesn't know what he's talking about. He's in the red room. He's disoriented. He thinks the arm, the man from another place, or the arm is bad. So when he sees this creature from another world holding up a ring saying, "Hey, Laura, take this ring," Cooper's like, "Don't take that. That's a bad idea." But he doesn't know what the ring is. He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know. He's just kind of on instinct. He's like, don't do that. Basically, you can interpret it that way. Bad Soda Production says, episode 4 due out when? Let's see. I am, doing my best next few weeks. doing my best. Thanks for your patience. Robin Marshall says, your style is superb. You clearly put a lot of time and effort into these. Yes, I do. Thank you. Well, thank you for the compliment very much. Takes a lot of work, a lot of time, but I think it's worth it, you know, and hopefully I'm making something that you guys are like, can watch more than once. So I'm kind of talking real fast and I'm going through a lot of stuff and I'm showing a lot of shots and I got infographics and the diary pages and how this stuff. And the goal is if you like it, you can go back and watch it again and you can pause it, look at the infographic, you know, like if I say something, you can pause it and back it up and, you know, so yeah. Calbuto McFarland says, you're doing a great job, man. I'm sure your channel will blow up. If you tapped a more mainstream topic, I'm positive you'd hit 100K pretty quick. But do you? Your audience will come in time. Yeah, that's the other thing. Twin Peaks is like a super niche thing. So I'm trying to do these like super well-produced videos about Twin Peaks, which is like, I mean, it's not Star Wars. It's not the MCU or anything. Like this is, there's a few 100,000 people, maybe even 1 million people like in the entire world that know the show, watch the show, like the show. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Tony Barber said, those are all great. It's worth waiting. Thank you. I love the Laura one and the Judy one best, but they're all great. Thank you very much. Let's see. So this is cool. I'm glad that everybody showed up and they're asking me questions. And if you have any other questions, put them in. I'm going to wrap this video up here in a second. I got to get home. And let's see. So thanks again to new subscribers. Thanks again to Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous for giving me a platform and some channel boostage. For you watching out there, if you're familiar with Obnoxious and Anonymous, he is working on a Twin Peaks fan film called Queen of Hearts. And he, maybe I should say this, but he shared some footage with me recently and it looks fantastic. And yeah, so Obnoxious and Anonymous, support that channel, support Queen of Hearts. Stuff looks really great. You can find me, takethering.com goes right to the YouTube channel. It's the best way to search it. I am at takethering430 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I do have a Patreon page, which I believe is patreon.com/takethering. I'm gonna work on some rewards or a tier or some exclusive content or something for people that donate to the Patreon, but I just haven't had the time to put all that together. Episode 4 is coming soon. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but it's going to be good and it's going to be long and it's going to be worth the wait. And there's some special stuff in there that I think you guys will really dig. And let's see, I'll check the chat one more time here and then we'll sign off. Okay. I'd love to hear your theory or segment on the sheriff's station scene and Cooper's superimposed face. Yeah, that's a complicated one because then, I mean, I think I'm going to talk about that in probably the next Talk About Judy video, which I have no idea when that'll be done. But again, that's kind of one of those things in Twin Peaks where arguably the fourth wall is being broken because he's looking at you. And then the people have theories that Cooper's been in the lodge the whole time and this is his dream and that's him signaling that we all live inside this gigantic dream. Complicated. But yeah, I'll be talking about everything about the show at some point. But my videos, the episodes, I have a fixed number of those. I won't tell you how many, but I'm not going to make 100 of them. I'm not going to make 50 of them. Like there will be a set amount of those videos that'll hopefully cover everything that I have to say about Twin Peaks. I don't really want to do, I mean, I could, I guess, do it forever, but I'm basically going to do these Twin Peaks videos and then go from there. I'd like to branch out and talk more about other movies and pop culture stuff that I like. But in the meantime, this is basically a exclusively Twin Peaks channel, and probably will be for a couple more years, probably by the time I get this all done. Oh, Strenuous Orb, have you seriously considered doing videos on non-Twin Peaks films and shows? Yes, I have. I want to. I don't have the time at the moment, but yeah, after I get all this Twin Peaks stuff done, yeah, I have a million movies that I love and theories and production values. I might do more documentary type stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Nicholas Stanley says, do you consider the Twin Peaks universe to be contiguous with that in other Lynchian works like Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive? If so, which and why? Well, yes and no. So yes, in the sense that like all of Lynch's work kind of connects, especially season 3. I don't know, like narratively connects, but there's definitely themes, definitely imagery, definitely things that he likes to revisit. You know, the gold orb, Laura's orb, Bob's orb. You know, it's kind of like guy's face in the moon in Eraserhead. It's kind of like Glenda the Good Witch in Wild at Heart. You know, you've got the jail sequences and driving down the highway in season 3 are kind of like Lost Highway. You've got the Betty, Diane, there's definitely Mulholland Drive stuff in season 3. There's definitely, you know, I think that it's like a culmination work. So you can I think the themes are connected in his work. The symbolism or you know, I guess the vibe. I think all of Lynch's work is connected. Now, is Twin Peaks narratively connected to, say, Lumberton and Blue Velvet? Like, if Dale Cooper left town and drove somewhere, would he run into Jeffrey Beaumont? I don't know. I don't know about that. It depends. But Twin Peaks, again, is half David Lynch and half Mark Frost. So I kind of view it as kind of like its own thing, the Twin Peaks universe. But there's definitely all of Lynch's work. There's a through line of style, symbolism, imagery, themes, you know. Yeah. So Thomas Batista says, what is the name of the YouTube channel you mentioned? It's Obnoxious and Anonymous. Obnoxious and Anonymous. And he's working on the Queen of Hearts Twin Peaks fan film. And I think we did four videos where he and I did his Twin Peaks thought of the day. And each one of those is like 2.5 hours long. So you can, on Take the Ring YouTube channel, I have a on the web playlist, which has those videos on there. So you can find those videos on there and find his channel through my channel. So it's the on the web playlist, and you can find these really great conversations. But I mean, it's he and I going at it really hard for like 8 hours, like everything Twin Peaks, everything David Lynch. Definitely check those out. Let's see what else. And Kabuto My friend says, I've heard that originally Audrey from Twin Peaks was Watt's character from Mulholland Drive. Yeah, I don't know exactly where that's from, but the genesis in Lynch's mind for the idea of Mulholland Drive was Audrey Horne Goes to Hollywood. Now, was that going to be literally Sherilyn Fenn as Audrey Horne arriving in Los Angeles? I don't know. Maybe that's out there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, thanks for answering. Okay, guys, I really appreciate it, and I'll keep this video up. If it's not too embarrassing, I'll keep this up. I'll try to keep you guys updated. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. So for now, this is, you know, got a new job. Going to start working on the videos from home. Appreciate the support. And episode 4 will be coming, and hopefully a bunch of new cool stuff will be coming too. All right. Take care. Thanks.